Okay. Right.
Hold on, can it चालू होने का? Then I'll close it out.
Right? Thank you.
All the best,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah, all the best, thanks. Bye.
Hi everyone, all of you are able to hear me well? There is Sumit, Swapnil, Archie, Rahul. Everyone out here, all of you are able to hear me well? People out here who are live, can you guys hear me well? Yes or no? Hello. There is Sumit, Swapnil, Archie, Rahul. All of you are able to hear me well? Yes or no? Can you guys give me a quick update? Okay, Paki, there I got a response from all of you. Perfect. On this note, we'll quickly begin with the session. We got delayed because there was some technical glitch, but I think it's been resolved now. So people out here who are live, give me a quick update if all of you have given the mock test. Yes or no? Mock test number 2. So MBAP mock test number 2, I believe all of you have given this. And today we'll see the analysis part of it. Just a gentle reminder that people who are attending the 45 days of CAD Marathon workshop, make sure you keep on attending. People who just want to be a part of it, make sure you see all the important links in the description box. So we are still in week 1. We are on the verge of completing the arithmetic workshops. Followed by that, we'll be having the advanced algebra and the other workshop which has been lined up. To make sure you are consistently following all the workshops which has been kept. If you ask me the overall feedback of this mock test, which is basically mock test number 2, I believe all of you know that there were 26 questions which came up in the paper. As far as my analysis is concerned, this was slightly a moderate level paper, not easy. So I would wait. Archie, you can see the description box link or you can see the website. You'll find the important links there. Okay. Now, there are 26 questions which are there. If you ask me, tell me the cutoff for 99 percentile, 95 percentile, and 90 percentile in this section. Let's consider the overall number of questions were 26, 26, and 26. Now, people who are about to solve 17 to 18 questions right with more than 90% of accuracy. I repeat, people who are able to solve 17 to 18 questions right out of 26 questions can expect 99 percentile in this paper of mock. People who are able to solve 14 to 15 questions in this paper out of 26 can expect 95 percentile. And people on the level of 11 to 12 questions in the paper of this mock test, you can expect to get 90 percentile in the mock test as far as math is concerned. Clear? Now, as we understand, any CAD paper, any mock or any actual CAD paper is a mixture of easy, moderate, and difficult level questions, right? Now, not all the questions, all the 26 questions are not word doable. No one does that also, right? So it's the question scanning ability which you need to focus on. If you have wisely chosen the questions well, it's not going to be difficult for you to manage all the set of questions because you are not looking forward to it. You are looking forward to only easy and moderate level questions which will come up in the paper, by which you'll be able to solve the questions well in the given examination. Clear? Cool. On this note, let's see some of the easy and the moderate level question which came up. The very first question which was there, I repeat, the very first question which was there in the paper was basically of progression. This was basically of progression. Now, this progression question was not that difficult. I mean, the very first question that you possibly could have started off, this was one of the first questions that you could have begun with. As that is not going to be a difficult question to manage. How many of you have solved this question? Tell me. How many of you have solved this question? Let's look at the question. The question says, a group of 630 students are arranged in rows. A group of 630 students are arranged in rows for a group photograph session. Each row contains three fewer children than the other. Right? So which row is it? The considered upper ladder row or the downward ladder row? We do not know, but let's consider this way. So each of them, you can consider each of the row has basically a difference of plus 3. When you are saying it's a difference of plus 3, it's like an arithmetic progression series. I repeat, it's like an arithmetic progression series where all the values are increasing by plus 3. X plus 3, x plus 6, x plus 9, x plus 12, likewise so and so forth. Likewise, so and so forth are the values, right? And the question is, what number of rows is not possible? I repeat, what number of rows are not possible? How many of you got the answer? I mean, consider the way of expression of the sum total of an arithmetic progression is given by 2a plus n minus 1 into d, and this sum total has been given to you as 630. I repeat, it's a very easy question. The sum total has been given to you as 630. Now, the only thing what they're telling you is the value of d has been given to you as what? The value of d has been given to you as the common difference of 3. So basically, this question is 2a plus n minus 1 into 3 would be equal to 630. That's the question. If you solve this, you'll get the equation as 2an plus 3n squared minus 3n is equal to 1260. Now, there's a final equation which you need to solve. I do not intend to solve this equation because the question is about find a value of n. Which of the following value of n can be practically possible, or which value of n is not possible? Or which value of n is not possible? The only thing that I have to look into, I repeat, the only thing that I have to look into, the value of n, the number of rows is always going to be an integer. The number of rows is always going to be an integer value. Will always and always be an integer value, right? So I will have to put the values like 3, 4, 5, 6. Consider which of the given options cannot give you an integer and which value can give you an integer can only decide what answer you will mark in the given question. For example, if I go ahead with the fourth option which you have got, the final equation n ki jagah pe 6 dal do. The final equation will look like this. It's going to become 12a plus 108 minus 18 is equal to 1260. That's the final equation which you will get. And if you try to solve this, you will get the value of a as 97 point something. You'll get the value of a as 97 point something. It's an arithmetic progression, Archie. All the values have a common difference of 3. X plus 3, x plus 6, x plus 9. It has been said a group of 630 people have been arranged in a set of rows, and each row has 3 fewer students than the first one. That's what has been told you. That's what has been told you. So that's the reason it's an AP. The only thing that I have to consider is which option if I substitute in the option or the answer. I repeat, which option if I substitute in the answer can give you an integer and which option cannot give you an integer. If you put all the options, you will mark the option number 4, which is 6. 6 by substituting here is not giving an integer. So 6 is the only value which will not give you an answer. 6 rows cannot be possible. All the other rows will be possible. So you will mark option number 4 to be the final answer of this question. Yeah, not a difficult question. I believe all of you might have solved this question well. Okay. There was another question which was question number 4, which was quite easy. Even if you do not know permutation combination, still you'll be able to solve the question well, provided you know the basics of number counting. Provided you knew the basics of number counting. Like out of 26 questions, solving 12 questions is not a big deal in any paper, irrespective of how much content you have studied before going the paper. So I repeat, even if you are 50% prepared for the examination, still 10, 12 questions out of 26 is not at all difficult that you cannot crack. Okay, let's have a look at this question. It says, all the possible numbers that can be formed, I repeat, all the possible numbers that can be formed by using digits like 2, 9, 4, 7, 8, 6. Values like 2, 9, 4, 7, 8, 6 are returned in the ascending order. What is the difference in the rank of the 4-digit number starting with 24? What is the difference in the rank of the smallest 4-digit number starting with 24 and the rank of highest 5-digit number which can ever be formed? Rank of highest 5-digit number which can ever be formed, right? Let's actually consider how many single digit values are possible. How many single digit values are possible? The number of single digit possible is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So number of single digit would be 6, one place. How many two digits? Let's consider tens and units place. So at one place you have 5 options and the next place you have got 6 options. This value will give you 30, right? 3-digit values will be 6 into 5 into 4. Similarly, 4-digit values will be 6 into 5 into 4 into 3. And 5-digit values will be 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2. Right? These are the values which are possible. These are the number of digits which are possible. I repeat, these are the number of digits which are possible. Now they are talking about the 4-digit values. 4 digits से पहले क्या आएगा? 4 digits से पहले मेरे पास 3 digits आ जाएंगे. 4 digits से पहले मेरे पास 3 digits आ जाएंगे. Number of single digit कितने आ जाएंगे? Number of single digit would be equal to how much? 6. Number of 2 digit would be equal to how much? 30. Number of 3 digit would be equal to 6 5 30 into 4 120. So if you look at this, the value will become 156, right? अब third digit के बाद 3 digit के पूरे values खत्म हो चुके. Now we are talking about the 4th digit, which is starting with 24. Even if it is starting with 24, the next value which I may consider would be 2467. So 2467 could have been the smallest 4-digit value, and I'm sure you will count this to be the 157th value. You'll count this to be the 157th value which is there, right? And the question is find the highest 5-digit value possible. The highest 5-digit values which is possible is the sum count of all of them. Is the sum count of all of them which you have got. Clear? Now, if you add all the values 6, 30, 120, 360, 720, you'll get the final answers 1236. You'll get the final answers 1236. So the rank of the highest, I repeat, rank of the highest 5-digit value would be 1236. Rank of the lowest 4-digit value is 157. And the difference between both of them, I repeat, the difference between both of them is 1079. Is how much it is? 1079. Is 1079. Clear? I hope this is clear to all of you, right? All of you got the answer. The answer for this question would be the difference of 1079. Single digit 6, double digit 30, 3 digits 120. The smallest 4 digit would be the 157th value. Would have been the 157th value. So this value is 157. The highest 5-digit value will have a rank of 1236. The difference between both of them would be 1079. An easy question that you could have solved in this paper. Could have solved in this paper. Let's have a look at the next question now. The next question on the screen is not at all difficult. This is a time, speed, distance question. I repeat, this is a time, speed, distance question. How many of you have solved this question? Tell me quickly. How many of you have solved this question? Perfect, Sumit. This is an easy question which you had. It says that train is traveling at a rate of 18.5 miles per hour and started the journey at 7 a.m. with a total journey distance of 148 miles. Or 148 miles. A second train started at the same station, arrived 15 minutes later than the first one. If the ratio of speed of the second with the first one is 8:5, then when did the second train start? Is the question. When did the second train start? Is the question. Let's find out the time taken by the train number 1. Right. The total distance was 148 miles, and the speed at which it is going is 18.5 miles per hour. So I repeat, the time which is being taken by train 1 is basically 148, is 148 divided by 18.5. If you do that, you will get the answer as 8 hours. If you do this, you will get the answer as 8 hours, right? So when did the train start? The train started at 7 a.m. and it's going to take 8 hours. So when will it reach? Obviously, it's going to reach at 3 p.m. Now, it has been said train 2 is taking 15 minutes more. Train 2 is taking 15 minutes more, and the value will become 3 hours 15 p.m. 3 hours 15 p.m. is the value, right? What has been told to you. They have also given you a hint. The hint what they have given you is here. The speed of both the trains are in the ratio of 8 is to 5. We know speed is inversely proportional with time. If the ratio of speed is 8 is to 5, the ratio of time taken would have been 5 is to 8. So train 2 would have taken 8 by 5 of 8 hours. 8 hours is the first train which I have taken, right? So it's second to first, my part. So this would have been 5 by 8. This would have been 8 by 5. So basically, I have the value as 5 by 8 into 8. So 5 by 8, 8 will get cancelled. You will get the answer as 5 hours. The second train will take 5 hours. It says you start at some time, you reach at 3:15, and you have taken 5 hours. So when did you start? You might have started 5 hours before. 5 hours before, the time would have been 10:15 a.m. 5 hours before, the time would have been how much? 5 hours before, the time would have been 10:15 a.m. Madhur and all of you. All of you got the question? Yes or no? Everyone out here have solved this question? Understood, all of you? Perfect. Next question. I mean, either you can solve the question by substitution. This was question number 8, which you had in the paper. And even if you want to solve it by equation, this was not difficult at all. I mean, you might have to make 1 or 2 simultaneous equations to solve this, but this was not a difficult question. Paki and everyone, have you guys solved this question in the paper? This was question number 8 in the paper. This was question number 8 in the paper. So ideally, they have given you x by y, they have given you y by z, and they have given you z by x. All the values has been given to you. All the values have been given to you. Basically, whenever you get a question like this, obviously, if you multiply them, you'll get the final answer has to be 1. So this gives you a hint. The basic beginning point to start with is multiplying all the values. The value of x is x by y is a minus 1 divided by a plus 1, multiplied by b minus 1 divided by b plus 1 into c minus 1 divided by c plus 1 should be equal to 1. I mean, you just have to solve this question, this part of the paper. I repeat, you have to solve this part of the paper. This is my numerator and this is my denominator, right? Like, I mean, this part will obviously, the denominator will go and get multiplied with 1. If you do that, you will get the final equation as AB, like a minus 1 into b minus 1 will give you AB minus a minus b plus 1 in bracket c minus 1. Should ideally be equal to what? Should ideally be equal to, inside bracket, this would have been AB plus a plus b plus 1. In bracket, this would be c plus 1, right? And if you try to open this brackets and try to solve this, you will get the final answer to be as 2 times AB plus BC plus CA plus 1 to be as 0. So obviously this value and this value will get nullified. So the only part of the paper which is left is this. Is this. And finally AB plus BC plus CA would be equal to minus 1. Would be equal to minus 1. And hence I'm going to mark the final answer to be as minus 1, which is option number 3. See, what is important in this question? The important part in this question was what? Knowing how to start from. And whenever you get equations in the form of x by y by x, z and z by x, obviously you have to multiply them, only then you will be able to solve the question. Not a difficult question that you cannot crack. Not a difficult question that we cannot crack. It's an easy question that we had in the paper. You should have solved this question. There were certain questions on geometry which was not difficult to, which we will solve, but even the questions which are basically on logs and functions, If you would have given it a shot, I repeat, if you would have given it a shot, this was again not a difficult question that you cannot do. Like a basic fundamental of logarithm can help you out too. The basic fundamental of logarithm can also help you out to solve the question. In this question, the question was a raised to x was given to you as b raised to y was given to you as c, and c raised to z was given to you as c. Clear? So, I mean, the basic point which we had is like, yeah, perfect. So, you should have taken log on both the sides. If you take a log on both the sides, the question would have been solved then and there itself. It would have become x log a would be equal to log b. Similarly, y log b will be equal to log c, and z log c will be equal to log a. Clear? So the value of x will become what? The value of x will become log b by log a. Y will become log c by log b, and here z will become log a by log c. Clear? And simply they're asking about the value of x, y, z. So if you multiply x, y, and z together, it will become what? It's going to become log b by log a into log c by log b and log a by log c. Clear? If you multiply all of them, you'll get the final answer to be as 1. Clear? And we'll get the final answer to be as x, y, z will be equal to 1. X, y, z will be equal to 1. This is the most easy question that we should have solved while doing this question. Not a difficult question that we cannot crack. Yeah. There was an easy question which also came up on time and work. I mean, if you look at the overall paper, the paper was again inclined towards arithmetic and algebra only, right? Arithmetic and algebra will be a key in the final papers also, right? So you have to make sure that you are getting into the nuances of solving all the arithmetic and algebra questions before you go for a paper. Clear? Like this was the easiest question that can ever come out in the paper. Right? This was one of the easiest questions which can ever come out in the paper. If you read the question, you yourself will get the answer easily. The question says two teams are working on a project. I repeat, two teams are working on a project and their productivities are different. They work together and two-thirds of the project. They work together and two-thirds of the project is completed by the first team. Two-thirds of the project was completed by the first team and the rest by the second team. Clear? Then the entire work would have been completed in 4 days. How long will it take? The question is how long will it take for the slower team to complete this execution? Hello. All of you able to hear me? So the question is find the rate of the slower team. Which you have. Two teams are working on the project and it has been said the productivities are different, right? The question says they work together and two-thirds of the work was completed by the first team and the rest was done by the second team, right? And then it would have taken how many days? Then it would have taken 4 days. In a very easy way, what they're telling you is, let's say the days taken by the first team, team 1 has taken X days. So the amount of work which should be done in 1 day would have been 1 upon X. Would have been how much? 1 upon X. They are saying they have done two-thirds of the work. Two-thirds of the work they have done. And if I multiply with the component of 1 by 4 because they are taking 1/4 of the work, so this should be the amount of work which should have been done in 1 day. This should have been the amount of work which could have been done in 1 day. Like if you multiply them, you'll get the value of X to be as 6. If you multiply them, you'll get the value of x to be as 6. Similarly, now the team 2 is coming up. Let's assume team 2 is taking y number of days. It is doing 1/3 of the work at 1/4 of the rate. It's going to be a factor of 1. So this time my work done, not the work done, or the value of y would have been how much? As simple as 12. The answer for this question was again should have been solved in the next, like, let's say 1 or 2 minutes, not beyond that. Just not beyond that. Clear? Good question which came basically on graph, and whenever questions which are basically on graphs usually comes up. I repeat, whenever you see questions which are based on graphs which come up, you will always find questions which are based on enclosed area. You will always find questions which are based on enclosed areas. Like this question was a standard question which can ever come up in the paper. And this is not difficult at all. I mean, if you just plot a graph of mod x mod y is equal to mod 4, you'll find, let's say the coordinates here would be 0 0. This value would have been 4 0. This value would have been 0 4. This value would have been minus 4 0. And this value would have been 0 minus 4. I mean, this is the easiest question which can ever come up. Like if you get a question like this, don't solve. Okay. And all of them would be a right angle triangle, right? The area of this will be as same as the area of this, and area of this will be equal. So even if I find out the area of one triangle, which is half base and height, like 4 times if I multiply them, I'll get the area of the whole enclosed part, right? We know this time half base. The base is having a length of how much? 4 centimeter, and the height is also 4. So area of a triangle would have been half into 4 into 4. Would have been how much? 8. Would have been how much? 8. So this is 8, this is 8, this is 8, and this is 8. And the answer would have been as simple as 32. And the answer would have been as simple as 32. Clear? Answer would have been as simple as 32. Clear? And I mean, even if you solve questions like this, it's not going to be difficult. You have not used any technical approaches to solve the questions. These are very much more logical questions that you can solve it very easily. And overall paper, as said, we had basically around about 15 questions were doable in the overall section of math. We had around about 15 questions were doable. Above average student would be able to do 15 questions. Excellent students would be able to do around 18 questions. Like on the level of 90, all of you are on the level of at least more than 90. So all of you should have solved at least around about 11, 12 questions very easily. Clear? It was not a very difficult question that you cannot crack. Cool. On this note, we'll start with the session number 2, which is the analysis of the logical reasoning part. I believe Heather has joined us. Heather, you there? Just be here for 1 minute.
Hi guys, am I audible? Okay, so guys, so we'll be starting with LRDI section of the mock 2. So mainly before starting that, I'll tell you some of the basics of like how to approach the LRDI section in general. So first of all, the strategy of dealing with LRDI section while attempting CAT or other mocks is to be very, it has to be very straight and as well as flexible. Okay, so you don't have to start immediately solving any sets. First of all, you have to go through all the sets in a proper structured manner, and then you have to solve the sets which you think you are able to solve on the basis of 3 4 parameters. First is on the basis of familiarity. For example, if you are familiar with a table set, and in which we have to form different type of tables, if you are familiar with that set, you should start with that set. If the main thing is, if variables given in this question are more often a direct form rather than indirect, then second thing that I think so will help you is judging the number of conditions given in the question. For example, if very few conditions, for example, in a set, if very few conditions are given, that may mean that you have a lot of ambiguity in the question. Or for example, if you are given many conditions, then the thing is you have to read them a lot. You have to think from where to start, on which point. The third one would be the reasoning. The reasoning part, what it suggests that the main thing is you have to do not make a guess in selecting a set. The main thing is there should be a rationale behind selecting a set, why you have selected that particular set. And before trying, you should have a clear idea on how to go about it. Like for example, kindly give around 6-7 minutes of your initial time among 40 minutes to first of all judge each and every set. Maximum of 1 minute you can give per set in order to judge if you were solving that particular set or not. So solving around 3 sets out of 5 or 6 will give you more than 98 to 99 percentile in CAT. So main thing is, first of all, if you are given 5 or 6 sets, you have to decide the order in which you will be solving. Okay, that is the more important. That is the fourth thing will be the sequence of selection. So let's start with the mock. The main thing is the question. This mock had 6 sets. One set of area of specialization, that was, I think so, easy. The one with fabrics was hard to solve. It took a lot of time for many students. And the one with theory and practical marks was also tend to be easy. And custom made bikes was around moderate to difficult level. And number of pairs of shoes manufactured, the set was moderate to difficult. And the cricket league, I think so, it was a difficult set. So the thing is, for example, you could have gone with 1, 2, and 3. These sets should be your approach in order to get good percentile. So for example, if you have solved 4, 4, and 4, 12 questions, so you got off 36 marks. The main thing is, if for example these sets took you 30 minutes, then you can solve more. Otherwise, the main thing is try to stick with the 3 sets that you have to solve, because if you directly engage in this one, for example, in the beginning, that will take around 7-8 minutes of your time. And for example, if you're not able to crack it, then that will be like your morale will be down. So the main thing is try to first of all sequence your sets, and first of all think which sets I will try to solve first. So let's move on to the sets. So this was one of the sets given to us in which the LNT offers consultancy in diverse fields, two of which are hydraulics and structural engineering, and people with diverse range of services work hand in hand. While some are masters of one trade, there are few who possess expertise in both areas of consultancy mentioned above. The main thing is understand from this that we are given the table in which we are given 3 things: less than 3 years, 3 to 5 years, more than 5 years, and hydraulics, structures, both design, drawing, and both. So automatically it should come to your mind that you have to draw a Venn diagram. So the main thing is here, after seeing the set, what I thought of, first of all, this we can solve the set with the use of the Venn diagram. So main thing is we have to draw 3 Venn diagrams for each and every class, that is less than 3 years, 3 to 5, more than 5. And main thing is for each and every class there should be 2 Venn diagrams. So in total 6 Venn diagrams will be there. So for example, let's say these are the Venn diagrams in which this is for design and for less than 3 years. So what will happen is mainly this is ABC. Let us take this is design and this is drawing for hydraulics. So the main thing is it is given to us that design consists of 48. So A plus B is 48. Drawing is 26. So B plus C given to us is 26. And the main thing is both 27 in design and both 11. Total we are given 125. So the main thing is A plus B plus C plus N. For example, let's say if none of these are the persons, it is given as 125. So we have to draw two Venn diagrams, first for design and then for drawing. The main thing is that should be our approach. The main thing is, according to me, this set was easy because nothing, there was no that much logical, you can say, a lot of things in which we have to first of all decipher the set and then think. The main thing we have to draw various Venn diagrams and then we have to directly solve it. Okay, so this set was according and the various questions. Understand, after 1 month, if the number of employees completing 3 years of employment with L&T is 13, then what would be the number of employees with experience of 3 years or more, assuming that no new employees are taken and none of these existing leave the firm? Understand, this question can be solved without Venn diagrams, without drawing any Venn diagram. How? The main thing is, it is saying that completing 3 years or more, it has asked, and there are 13 more employees joining us. So understand from this that total number of employees 3 years or more are this, and this. So this is nothing but 140. This is nothing but 240. Total comes out to be 380. And we have 13 more joining us. So 380 plus 13 was 393. The main thing is, in this question, you don't have. So first of all, if you have time for just a 10-15 seconds, you can go through the questions as well. Kindly consider the questions. If the questions are direct or they are asking us to like apply more information after like cracking the set. The main thing is, the one of the things that makes the sets difficult is that first of all, after deciphering the set, in we can solve 2 questions out of 4. But the main thing is, other 2 questions that we have to solve, they might take a lot of time as they might give us more information. So that is the set that will consume our more amount of time. So we do not have to attempt that set in the first go. Okay, at the last, so in that type of sets, attempt 2 questions and then leave, and then start with the other set. So again, understand this. Among the persons having 3 to 5 years of experience, what is the percentage of employees associated with hydraulics? Only total that of group. So the main thing is the direct question that has been asked to us. No indirect question or no extra information that has to be like mapped here. Again, here also the number of employees who work for less than 3 years, what percent of the total employees in L&T. By solving the Venn diagrams, we can easily get like exactly what the question is asking to us. And the last one, among the employees with less than 3 years of experience, if 25 of those working in hydraulics, only 20% of those who expected increments of this and this. Only some mathematical calculation is like used here. Nothing out of the sort, out of the blue that is given to us here that we have to apply. Understood, guys? Okay. So this was an easier set, and that would have been my top priority, first of all, in solving this set, Venn diagrams one. Then we shall move on to the another set, in which the thing is, this set, after seeing, it is given to us that Mr. Y, a sales manager in a certain textile firm, was auditing the data related to sales and manufacturing cost of 4 fabrics: cotton, crepe, linen, and George, manufactured in the textile mill. He then calculated the percentage means in manufacturing cost and sales of the 4 fabrics from February to May and compared it with the previous month. He prepared 2 spider charts. The first one showing the month-on-month percentage increase in sales, and the other one percentage increase in the manufacturing cost. Further, it is known that the sales of the fabric in the country incurred a loss during the months in the given period. The main thing is to understand this. Why? So we are given fabric A, B, C, D in the spider chart here. The main thing is what happens is, so how to read a chart first of all. For fabric A, which is see blue in color, we have this. So the main thing is increase in selling price in Feb as compared to January for the fabric A will be 10%. This value. For fabric wheel, this also will be the same in February. For March, everyone has the value. It says this is the outermost value 25, 20. This is the 15. This is 15% increase. So this is how we read the chart. In order to, after read the chart, also try to prepare a table in which you can say that February value, fabric A, fabric B, fabric C, fabric D, February, March, April, May. You can prepare a chart as well. But the main thing is, so in order to you do not get confused. Okay. But the main thing is here, what happens is why this set is difficult, because we don't know the ABCD is what among cotton, crepe, linen, and georgette. The main thing again here. So after going through this for a minute or so, what I thought that I'll attempt this at last, because the main thing is first I have to decipher what are the different fabrics given to me on the basis of chart, on the basis of some mathematical calculation as well. The main thing is only I've been given the data of the January so that I can calculate the data for Feb, March, April, and May. Okay, so that's why this question or this set is a little bit difficult in order to solve. So understand, but the questions are easy. Which of the following fabrics is represented in the spider chart as fabric A? If I have deciphered this set mainly, then my questions are straightforward. Then I will be able to like solve it. So profit will be what? Selling price minus manufacturing cost. So these are the direct questions given to us. And the textile will make the highest profit. Only we have to calculate, say from the chart, if we have deciphered what is fabric ABCD, profit can be calculated from selling price minus cost price. And then we could have found which of the following has the highest profit in terms of linen, crepe, cotton, or georgette. And it is selling in May. So we have to calculate for Feb, then March, then April, then May, and then we have to decipher. So it will take a lot of time for us. And then how many months did the profit for more than 10 lakhs from linen? Again, after solving or deciphering the set only, it will take us a lot of time in this. So that will be, this set will be my last priority, because it was quite difficult. In order, first of all, I have to decipher what particular question is asking to us. And the main thing is fabric ABCD, what it represents among these four fabrics. And then I have to do some calculations as well. So this chart, again, the total marks in engineering for a student named Joshua comprise of two different marks, theory marks as well as practical marks. So the following scatter plot chart provides the total marks as well as the theory marks for Joshua during 8 semesters from 1 to 8. It is given that total marks in any semester for Joshua are more than those in previous semester. So again, this is a table type of question. The chart is given, we have to only form the table. So semester is given to us. Total marks. Here theory, practical. Semester 1, semester 2 goes on to semester 8. We can prepare a table like that. And it is also given to us that any semester marks for Joshua are more than that in the previous semester. The main thing is, so semester 2 marks will be more than semester 1, semester 3 will be more than semester 2, will be more than semester 1, this order. So the main thing is, these are the total, this will be total marks for semester 1. And because the main thing is total marks are moving from left to right. So this will be total marks for semester 2, and this will be total marks for semester 8. So I've been given direct data. So semester 1 total marks is 120. Theory marks is given to us 60. Practical marks will be 120 minus 60, which is 60. So I can prepare a table. It would not take more than, you can say 2 minutes, 3 minutes maximum in preparing a table. And then understand the theory marks as a percentage of total marks during any of the given semester at most. So the thing is, we can now solve this question after preparing the table. Now we can solve each and everything. So the questions are not, you can say, that much difficult given to us. If we have deciphered the set, then each and every semester we have to check the theory marks as a percentage of total marks. Theory as a percentage of total into 100, which is the most highest. We have to mark that option. So the questions are also direct. So during how many of the given semesters were the practical as a percentage of total marks greater than 50%? Again, direct question. If we have prepared the table again, then we can directly solve it. For this one, the percentage in which practical marks during any of the given semesters compared to the previous semester, what at most? Again, the main thing is here also, a direct question is given to us. After preparing the table, if we have got the marks for S1, S2, S3, all semesters, then we can directly say that we can find the percentage increase by saying that new minus previous upon previous into 100. So this is the percentage increase, and we can say that this will be value the highest. We have to find the maximum value of it. So, and it is also a main things type in question. So you have to like think of in the nearest whole number. So if there is one more semester, that is semester 9, the total marks increase by 10%. So understand this. This is a question that might take more time compared to other questions. The main thing is it has been asked to additional data is given to us here. So that might take us a little bit more amount of time as compared to solve previous questions. So, and total marks increased by 10%. So we should know that semester 8 was what was the total marks. And the main thing is we can add 10%, 1 plus 10% into semester 8 marks. That will be semester 9 marks. The main thing is also not a tricky question. Again, so this set overall was also an easy one. And that would be my second priority while solving the DLR section in mock 2. Then we move on to the next set. So mainly here we have been given information related to 4 custom made bikes. And there are 4 different brands, each of which 4 major components of bikes, tires, engines, speedometer, and brakes are there. The main thing is we have given that tires have 4 brands, engine has also 4 brands, speedometer 4, brakes 4. And the different brands of brakes were this. One of the 4 models which Akash told was the cheapest, and one of the models was costliest. How we can prepare the table? Understand that engine, tires, speedometer, brakes. I can write here or here also. And it is the costliest one. It is the cheapest one. And we have 4 models of each. That will be the first, second, third, fourth. So I need only to fill this data. So understand from this that by going through the question, I understand this, that some of the problems, some of the, you can say, information given to us is direct, as well as some information is indirect. So this is the direct information given to us. Okay, this is the indirect information that we have to. So Loza brakes will have to be mapped with Kapolo tires, and again this Cholin tires have to be mapped with APCO and Tajaj engine. Again, NF tires cannot be fitted with this. So this overall set, assume that it takes, after for a minute or so, what I assume that there is a lot of information in this that is indirect. So it might take a lot of time for me to go through the set, and in order to like fill all the information. Let me see what is the type of question. So which brand's engine is the costliest? So questions are direct. It isn't which brand's engine was costliest. So you have to, if I find this information, then this is my answer. So the questions are direct, but the main thing is the sets having some indirect information will take a lot of time for me to first of all decipher this and then prepare a table and fit all the values in this. See, the questions are fairly easy. Which speedometer and which brands brakes were costliest, as well as which of the following combination were custom by cannot be correct. After fitting all the information in a table, I can like directly take which of the following information is given to us and which of the following is mapping is. So for example, this is the costliest one. So tires, engines, speedometer, and brakes will be the combination will be in this domain. The second combination will be in this, and the cheapest combination will be in this. So the main thing is questions are fairly easy, but the sets, since having a lot of information, that might take a lot of time for me to go through it. So now this set 5 given to us. Mr. Wills, the factory owner, had data regarding the number of pairs of shoes manufactured in a company on 8 consecutive months from month 1 to month 8. Okay. In a particular month, in a company meeting, he gave 8 employees: Robin, Steve, Stephen, Tony, Pearson, Mike, partial data about the number of pairs of shoes in the following manner. To one employee, he gave the number of pairs of shoes manufactured in the first month. To another employee, he gave the number of pairs manufactured in the second month for the first 2 months. So one employee gets month 1 data. Employee 2 gets month 1 plus month 2 data. Employee 3 gets month 1 plus month 2 plus month 3 data, and so on. The last employee will get all the 8 months data. And he asked each employee to draw a circle graph with only the data that he has been given, such that each sector in the circle graph he drew corresponds to the number of pairs of shoes manufactured on each month. After the 8 employees drew the respective circle graphs, each employee was asked to report the angle of the circle which represented the number of pairs of shoes manufactured in the month 1. So the main thing is these data has been given to us. This is the angle. Like for example, if we draw a circle, then the total angle of that particular circle is 360 degrees. But for example, if we draw a pie chart, let's say, so this angle can be x degrees. This angle is nothing but 360 minus x. Here in this circle, one information is given to us. Here in this circle, two information is there. In this circle, 1, 2, 3, three information is given to us. So the main thing is understand from the logic here what will happen if we are given one information. That particular information will cover all the angle 360 degrees. So from the since the angles given to Robin till Stark are for month 1, and one of the employees will get month 1 data only. So from the different sets, what I could decipher is that this is a fairly easy set, or you can say a moderate set. Only I have to do what I have to decipher which of the employees is getting which month data, and that will be from descending order. And only I have to decipher this, and my question is solved. From the question, which are the number of pairs of shoes manufactured in month 3 as a percentage of total number of pairs of shoes manufactured during the 8 months. So after deciphering each and every employee which month of data he's getting, what I can get is I can solve month 1, month 2 till month 8 values. So by seeing the information, what I could guess here is that Peterson has an angle of 360 degrees. So he might be getting the month 1 data. Again, the month 2 data that the person, month 1 plus month 2 data will be getting by the person. So now the angles need to be in descending order. From month 1 till month 1 plus month 2, then month 1 plus month 2 plus month 3, in this order. So Peterson has it covers whole angle of 1 3 series. So it means that it has only one information. So the Peterson will be having month 1 data. In the second one, the second highest is 3216. So Lighten must be getting month 1 plus month 2 data. Then third highest, Stephen must be getting month 1 plus month 2 plus month 3 data. So in this particular order, what we can do is we can decipher which of the following employees is getting which data in order, which they get a number of pairs of shoes manufactured. And like Peterson got month 1, and till we can solve the last one, which will be Robin. He will be getting month 1 to month 8 data, and we can decipher this set. So the main thing is it will take a little bit of time initially in order to calculate the values from month 1 to month 8. But the main thing is this was fairly easy set, as we do not have to put a lot of, you can say, brain in terms of finding a particular reason in order to solve it. Only we have to do this little bit of calculation. So this set would be my third priority in solving the set, in terms of solving the whole paper. So the question is also fairly simple. What is the ratio of number of shoes manufactured in month 7 to Reeves data? So Reeves, the main thing is we have to first decipher who's Reeves is getting from which month to which, let's say month in, which month he is getting. The main thing is we have to only find the ratio of it. So The questions are fairly simple given to us. Again, if exactly 500 pairs of shoes manufactured in month one, then how many months were more than 7,500 pairs of shoes manufactured? So the main thing is from seeing the question are fairly simple. So that's why this set would be my third priority in order to solve it. So this was the last set given to us, in which 7 teams BKR, NI, CKS, SHR, GL, PD, RBC played a cricket league where each team played once against each of the other 6 teams. The tournament was conducted in 3 sessions, such that equal number of matches were played in each session. No team won exactly 4 matches in the tournament. Okay. So first of all, there are 7 teams, and each team played against each other 6 teams exactly once. So the number of matches will be nothing but NC2, which will be 7C2, 21. If these matches have to be equally divided in among 3 sessions, so each session will get 7 matches. So understand from this information. In session 1, I have been given information of BKR versus PD match, NI versus PD match. 2 matches. I should get information about 7 matches. RBC won against BKR and CKS. So here 2 matches and 1 loss against NI. So 1. And CKS and GL both lost against SHR. So 2 information. So overall, I'm getting around 6 to 7 information from session 1. From session 2, I'm getting only 4 information. From session 3, this is 2, this is 3. Total 5 information. So when I'll prepare my table, in which I'll put session 1, session 2, session 3, and match 1, match 2 till match 7. If I'll prepare this set, for example, then the main thing is I can get the 7 values in session 1, but I'm getting only 4 values and 3 values, 5 values in session 3. The main thing is I have to get 3 more values here, because total number of matches has to be 7 in each session. I have 4 matches with me, but I have to find the information about the other 3 matches that were played in session 2. Similarly, in session 3, I have to find the information about other 2 more matches. So that might take me some time in order to gauge. So the main thing is, in this question, a lot of indirect information was given to us in session 2 and session 3. So overall, it was a difficult set. Why? Because first of all, we have to decipher. The main thing is that from no team won exactly 4 matches in the tournament. That is the information that is very crucial given to us. So here we have to decipher about 7 teams. You have to write each and every, which team won how many matches till now, the information given to us, and lost how many matches. Then we have to first of all we have to decipher which matches are left, in which we have to think that we have to add 3 more information, 2 more here in session 3, and then we have to find more matches in session 2 and 3. So since this type of set has a lot of information and mainly the indirect information that is given to us, so that set might take a lot of time for us to solve. So this also would be among my last priorities in order to solving this type of set. But the questions again, which of the following teams cannot win all the matches, are fairly simple. So if we have deciphered this particular set, then the questions are fairly simple. Again, who among the following definitely won more than 1 match in session 2? Again, fairly simple. If you have deciphered the set, again, what's the highest number of matches that CKS could lose? If we had found the CKS, how many matches it won, how many matches it lost, we can easily tell that how many matches it lose. So again, a fairly direct question given to us. And this also, they together won 5 matches. How many teams won 5 matches? So the main thing is, after seeing this question, what I can assume in this particular set, that I cannot get the exact values of session 2 and session 3. Kindly go through the question again. If CKS and SHR won together 5 matches, the main thing is, it is saying that the different cases will be formed in this, this type of particular set. So main thing is, after seeing this question, what I assume that different cases, since different cases will be formed, that will be a fairly difficult set to solve. So that's why this will be my among the last priority after completing all the 3 sets. So in overall, what I'll suggest is you could have first of all solved this question. That was fairly simple because all of us have practiced Venn diagrams. And this was the easiest question of Venn diagrams, the direct application of Venn diagrams in this. Again, the theory and practical marks one, in which we had to find the semester wise data, that was also a fairly easy set. And the number of pairs of shoes manufactured, that might take some time in order to gauge like month 1 to month 8 data. But the main thing is that was the set you could have solved, or the custom made bikes. It depends on you. So the main thing is my order would be first, second, and third, and then fourth, and then fifth or sixth, and then sixth or fifth, in this order. I could have solved the set. But the main thing is, if in this particular set, if I'm able to solve 3 sets, which are the easy and moderate one, correctly, 36 marks, then surely I'll get 98 percentile more. If I'm targeting more than 99.5 percentile, then the main thing is I could have solved more than around 4 sets, or around 16 questions, 17 questions approx. So that would be my these 4 sets. So first, second, third, fourth. If I could have solved these 4 sets correctly, then I could have got 99.5 percentile plus in this type of question, because there are 4 questions given to me, and if I'm able to solve 16 out of 24, then that surely will give me 99.5 percentile plus. Okay, guys. So mostly, so this was you can say a very moderate mock, in which, as I told you, if you could have solved 3 sets, then that would be like you could have gotten more than 98 percentile. So that should be your target. In every mock, you should target around 3 sets, and with 100% accuracy in this. So I'll tell you 1 or 2 more things. So the main thing is why it happens that not more than 99 percentile, 99% of the cat population, or the persons who are giving the paper, they're not able to solve even 50% of the DLR's questions. The reason, first of all, is that there is a great deal of randomness and high level of uncertainty when it comes to DLR section. So for example, even if you complete all the questions, so from all the books given to you, like Arun Sharma, MBAP, every other coaching, the main thing is there will still be something very different which might you come across in the examination. So that's why one of the major reasons, that because there is a set based question. For example, if you are given a table set, then the thing is there not many changes can be made in that particular set. But for example, if you're given a puzzle type of set, or in which you have given some kind of set in which games are played, so since there are no predefined rules in this, so the examiner who is like making the exam, they can make any sets, any possible rules in order to play with. That's why the DLR section is a little bit difficult. And the second reason from my perspective that DLR is tricky, as the main thing is, as I already told you, that for example, if there are 4 sets or 4 questions given to us, and the main 2 or 3 questions can be solved by, first of all, deciphering the set. But the main thing is 1 or 2 questions that particular set have more data, extra data that we have to input. So main thing is that's why it like increases difficulty level, and since that increases difficulty level, and that takes a lot of time for us to solve. And this, in order to since we have to solve in 40 minutes, that's why it takes us a lot of time, mainly in deciphering that particular set, because we are of the you can say we are of the thought process that, for example, if we have decided and said let's do all the 4 questions and then move on. But you don't have to be emotional while solving the DLR set or DLR questions in that exam. You're practical. For example, if another question might take you 3-4 minutes, then you have to don't try to solve that. You have to leave. So always try to understand when to quit or when not to quit that particular set. So while practicing the mock, try to go through, try to have a little bit of your approach while solving the question. Like if how much time I have given in that particular set, what was the average time given by other candidates in that particular set, why I was not able to like gauge initially how I should solve that particular set. You should like think of these things while solving the mock, while analyzing the mock later on. So that the main thing is all mistakes you could do, try to do in the mock so that you can learn from this and then later on you can get good marks in CAT examination as well. Okay guys, that's all from the DI part. If Kamini ma'am has joined, she can start with the verbal part.
Hi everyone. I hope you guys are done with your LRTI and quant session, and you guys would have understood that how everything goes whenever it comes to CAT. So now, as you guys are done with your quants and LRTI, now it's time we should think a little bit about verbal ability too, because see, whenever we talk about CATs, many of you may think that that it is more important to focus on quants and LR and DI because verbal is just a language. We'll eventually understand it and we'll manage it. So I'll tell you one thing, that verbal is actually kind of section which is basically the most boring one. Reason is that nowadays we have become so much habitual with the language and understanding the context that it actually helps us in boosting our score. But there is one thing which we need to be very, very careful about. That is choosing the questions we are about to attempt, because obviously it is just next to impossible to attain all the questions, because it actually need a kind of very high speed and very deep understanding of the context. Okay, so this is the total number of questions which you must have seen in mock. That is question number 1 to question number 26. Now, when we see the topic wise the questions available to us, what we can see is that there are 4 RCs. Okay, reading comprehension, and there are around 3 parajumbles, 3 summaries, and 2 out of context or odd one out. Now, when we talk about this particular topics given to us, first thing, if you are provided with 4 RCs, how many RCs are you supposed to attempt? Okay, if I talk about the safest side, it means the minimum number of RCs you have to obtain is at least 2 RC. Below than that, nothing is acceptable. Okay, so this is something you have to go for. It means minimum 2 RCs, and remaining time you can dedicate to the remaining questions, but make sure that there should be one passage. If you don't get the entire passage, just give it a quick read so that at least you will be able to solve. If 4 questions are there, you will be able to solve at least 2 questions. Okay, so if you feel that your RC is not that good, what you can do is you can just afford to skip only 1 RC. That's the safest way. Otherwise, try your level best to attain all the questions. Now, When we talk about paragraph jumble, there were 3, odd one out 2, and summary 3. Now, which one you should attempt first? The very first question which I usually see among students is that which one we should attempt first, whether we should go for reading comprehension or we should go for other questions. Okay. So first of all, what I would recommend to you all is that first, whenever you are starting with your session, keep yourself safe and go for RC. Attend at least 2 RC so that you will be on a safer side. Because reading 1 RC actually gives you at least 4 to 5 questions. Okay. So if you are going for like 2 RCs and each RC is having 5 questions in it, what's gonna happen is you are safe with 10 questions. Okay. Now, suppose now you say that I'm done with the RC section. Now I'm gonna switch for verbal ability. So first topic which you supposed to choose is summary. Reason, because see, parajumbles sometimes are little tricky. Reason that you have to read those parajumbles multiple times and sometimes you even get confused. And nowadays the problem is now more complicated because of the theta questions in which no options are available to us. We need to type our answer. Okay. So sometimes parajumble are little time consuming and frustrating. And what happens if you feel that, okay, I have suppose A, B, C, D, E, F, 6 statements were there or 5 statements were there. You got 3 statements. So what you do that, okay, I have got 3 statements. Now I need to work only on 2 more statements. So you keep giving your time. It's more like gambling. So make sure that you go for parajumble. Later on, first go for the summary, because summary is something which is basically, I would say that the easiest one a question paper can offer you. Summary, the trick of summary, usually people get confused that, we feel that summary is also difficult. It's more like parajumble only. So many a times what students do is they actually get confused between summary and conclusion. The easiest way to attempt a summary is that look for the key elements. There might be 5 key elements or 6 key elements. Just look for the key elements and look for the option which is covering the maximum key elements. That's it. This is the easiest way you can go for your summary. Apart from this, you need not to pay attention on anything else. Just read all the options, see which option is covering those maximum key elements and not having any extra additional information in it, and that will be your answer. As simple as that. Okay. So first, make sure that you go for summary questions. And summary question, if I talk, they are usually easy to moderate. It happens really rare that you get a tough summary question, because summary is not that difficult topic at all. So chances are really high that you will get an easier question, and again, it is less time consuming. Okay, not going to consume a lot of time of yours. So make sure that you next step supposed to be your summary. Now, after that, parajumble and odd one out. Somehow they are related only. Okay, so it entirely depends on the nature of the question. I won't suggest that first you should go for parajumble or first you should go for odd one out. Why? Because the nature is similar only. So it entirely depends on the difficulty level of the question. Okay, that which question gonna consume more time or which question gonna consume less time. Okay, so this is how you can proceed for your questions. Now, first of all, just a minute. So first of all, go for at least 2 passage, 2 RCs you need to go for. After that, go for summary questions. After that, you need to go for parajumble. Okay, now which one, parajumble or odd one out, that is entirely your choice. Again, do not just switch that way. We should go for out of context or we should go for parajumble. No, just keep looking for the question like an individual one and go for it. So this is supposed to be the sequence of yours. Okay, and once you are done with all this, make sure that you'll come back to the RC, take one more RC and try to solve it. Okay. In first go for the easiest one. Obviously, that's something we go for. Go for the easiest one initially, and later when you switch from verbal ability section to RC again, then go for those. You will be anyway having only 2 questions with you, 2 RCs with you. So go for the easier one. That's something we do like since childhood only. So there is nothing I need to tell you about this. Okay. So now, again, there is one more question. Which RC how we supposed to identify that which RC is easier? and which RC out of these 4 RC, which we should go for first. Okay, that's the biggest question now. Now, before we discuss this, let's proceed for the looking at the questions now. Out of these 4 RCs, basically 1 RC was easier, 1 RC was moderate. So people who are pretty good with RC, they will also feel that, okay, moderate one is also doable only. And 1 is moderate to tough. Again, students who are good with it, gonna find it moderate. And student who, feel that RCs are really complicated or something, they will gonna find it tough. Otherwise, somewhere it lies between moderate to tough only. So if you are practicing your RCs regularly, you will find it moderate. And there is only 1 RC which falls in the category of tough. Now, this should be the last RC which you should go for. There are 2 reasons. First, obviously, this is the toughest one among these 4 RCs. Moreover, the questions it is offering is also less. I mean, relatively, I'm having 2 RCs which are easier and offering more number of questions. And this is tough and moreover, offering less number of questions too. So there is no sense in wasting a lot of time on this particular RC when I know that I can go for the other one. Okay, so first, obviously, your choice gonna be this and this, and later you can come to this. Now let's go for the RC so that we can understand that how did we really identify the RC, that which one is tough and which one is moderate or which one is easy. Okay, so first let's go for the easiest one. Okay, that is 4th one. Okay, so if you guys can see the questions they are giving you, the author makes a case of in calculating the exercising because kind of a direct question. All can be inferred from the passage except that. Again, a direct question because something, the information given in the option except, it means one information which author is not talking about. So something which about which author is not talking is actually easy to identify. Okay, because obviously every single information is given, so you might get confused between the information. But again, except, it means something which is not given, which is easy to identify. Phrase waste of time, you can directly go to the phrase where waste of time is given and you can look for your answer. Okay, so it is actually providing you with the direction. So we are working on questions now. Which of the following revelations were rather surprising? Okay, so this is again a kind of direct question which you can easily find. Okay, so now going to the passage. If you read this particular passage and how to identify it, reading this will take hardly 10 seconds, not more than that. Reading only this will be enough for you to identify whether the passage is difficult one or the easier one, whether it is something you should opt for or you should not opt for. Okay, so first paragraph is enough to identify that what is the nature of the difficulty level of the passage. Moreover, if you feel that okay, there is a little confusion, still you are a little baffled and still you are a little confused that whether you should go for it or not, just give it a glance. Don't read it, just go through it once, just just a bit of glance of it, you should say. See the kind of language and see the words. Do you feel that the words given are too complicated? Do you think that the vocabulary used in the passage is too complicated? Then you can switch it. Then you better go for the next passage. Okay, so this is how we identify. First, read the questions. You see that there are direct questions, inferred, except, habit of exercise, because, so obviously reason will be given. So that is something you can easily identify. Waste of time, you can directly go to the part of the passage where waste of time is given, and that's it. There you will find your answer. Relevant, surprising. So an element which is not just an information, but rather a surprising information. So it will have a special style of writing. Obviously, that's why, because here author is not speaking so that he can express his surprising element through his voice or tone or style or expression. No. All he is having with him is his words. So obviously to show that particular information is surprising, उसने कुछ ना कोई words तो use करे होंगे. So again, it will be easier to identify. Okay, so questions, direct questions are there. Nature of the passage, again, written in a very, very, easy manner. kind of a conversation language जैसा हम use करते हैं, more like that, more like an informative passage in where the author is expressing his knowledge or sharing his knowledge. So we mark this as easier one. As you read, ask any hardcore substance addict. Try this only when they are sober, obviously. So this shows that author is using a little bit of casual language. He's more like in a conversation with the reader. How his or her very first experience was. And they will for sure tell you that it was not very decent one. The violent cough of the first puff, the disaster of first sip, the bitterness of the powder hits them first. So kind of a very easy language. So this is something we should go in the very first go. This is the passage you should not skip. This is the passage you should not leave that I'll come back to the passage. No, don't do this. Number of questions we are getting 4. But passage is again very easy. Questions are direct. So this is something, do not skip this. Make sure that before attempting any of the question, you go for this one, RC, as questions are verbal abilities given in the later part. Now, so easiest one. Understood? Now, if I go for this particular passage, number of questions it is providing to me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. Okay. Now, nature of the question, the author holds that. Okay. So I need to evaluate. It is the author's intention that questions are short, but kind of asking you for the very specific answer. Okay, that's why we haven't put this particular passage in easy word one. Why? Because you need to be very specific about your answer, because he's asking to the point question. Okay. Now, sorry. Yeah, the passage makes a distinction between perception and creation in terms of, again, a very specific kind of question. You need to make a distinction. The art of writing manifest and dialect of perception and creation, because, again, kind of a very direct and a specific question in which you cannot just easily identify. There might be options which are a little confusing. There might be options when you are confused between two options, that two options you eliminate it, but you are left with two options and you feel that both can be the answer. So, okay, whenever such thing happens to you now, that when you get confused between two options, though मैंने easily eliminate कर दिए, but I'm stuck with two options, that which one is the correct one. So in that case, don't look for the wrong one कि यार कौन सा गलत दिख रहा है, किसको eliminate करूं, नहीं. Just compare, even if both the options seems exactly somehow similar to you कि दोनों same ही बात कर रहे हैं. In that case, don't look that which one is wrong. Just see that which one is providing which one is providing with more appropriate and elaborated answer. That will becomes your answer. Doesn't matter if second one is correct too. I'm getting more elaborated and appropriate with one option, so go for it. Okay. Again, a writer as an artist. Again, a very specific question. Okay. So that's why we haven't marked this as easier one. Moreover, if you'll see that, when you talk about the style of the writing, it is kind of a very something, kind of, we say, agar hum general language mein bole, so kind of a mature language, kind of a very philosophical language, kind of very specified language. The author is not in a general conversation or is not trying to get connected with the listener or reader. He's just want to put his point. That's it. Okay, so that's why we haven't put this in easier one. So this is something, questions are specific. So whether you should go for this particular passage or not, that entirely depends on the language of the passage, whether you understand it or not, whether you find it difficult or not. That's it. If you feel that the language is difficult, in that case, doesn't matter what question is asking. So go for it. Again, first passage and decide. Next. Again, this one is little difficult because this is more like in a philosophical way. So not every student find it easier to understand this kind of language. That's why we have put this in the category of tough one. Again, see the question. Okay, in what way was the work of early impression masters? Okay, this is not visible to me, so I'm not able to read this in slide. So different in style. what is the painting entry of the Crusaders into Constantinople truly symbolic of Impressionist art? Okay, so again, kind of a very tricky question. This one too, apart from the being a great artist, Meticelin led a life that exemplified. Okay, this one is more like the general one in which reading the passage can make us understand, can come up with the correct answer. Again, the language used in this particular passage is little too, rich in vocabulary too. So if you want to go for this, make sure that your vocabulary is pretty good. Okay, again, number of questions, only 4. Language, pretty difficult. Vocabulary, enriched. So you better go for this one at last when you are done with your entire vocal section. Now, going for this. This is more like a moderate one, not the easier one, I would say. This is not the easiest one that everyone will easily get this, but more like a moderate one. So if you feel that your reading comprehension is not that bad, you're pretty good in understanding language. Even if you rate yourself above average, if you rate yourself that, okay, I am good with solving RC, not excellent, not, exceptional, but I'm good at it, in that case, go for it. That should be your second choice. Okay, first is fourth RC, second choice is first RC, third choice is third RC, and fourth choice should be second RC. Okay, again, nature of question, pretty good. And direct true. Only 4 words are given. So now, whether you should go for this question or not, if you know the meaning of all 4 questions, because there is no logic is given, there is no statement is given, there is no opinion is given. Okay, so if you know the meaning of these 4 questions, then this question is worth attempting. If you don't know, better you go for the switch for the next question. Don't waste your time. Whenever there is a question based on vocabulary, do not waste much time on that particular question, because when it comes to vocabulary, you know the meaning or you don't know the meaning. There is no in between. It won't happen to you ki you'll keep thinking ki iska meaning kya hoga, and you suddenly come up with the meaning. No, that won't happen. If you don't know the meaning, nahi aayega samajh mein. Okay, so again, inferred from the first paragraph, it means you need to work only on first paragraph. Okay, so you need not to come up with any kind of logic, you need not to come up with the crux of the passage or essence of the passage. So kind of direct. That's why this is our second choice. It means those 2 passages which we have to solve at the starting of the session is fourth and first. Because, okay, so one question, one difference I'll tell you between first and third RC is question somehow, context is somehow a little tricky. But again, nature of question जो है वो first में ज़्यादा easy है as compared to third one. That's why we are opting for it. So whenever you come across RCs, you need to compare 2 things. First, context of the passage, what it is written, कैसी vocabulary है, कैसा context है, style कैसा है, and second is what kind of questions it is containing. Okay, whether maybe passage easy, but the questions are so tricky that you feel that you haven't even read the passage. Okay, so nature of the question is equally important. Okay, so done with the RC part. Now let's switch to verbal ability section. Okay, so from question number 19th onwards, we are starting with our verbal ability, in which there are 3 questions related to paragraph symbol, 3 summary, and 2 odd one out. Okay, so as you can see that this is a kind of passage given to you. Now, if I talk about the language and understanding of the context, it falls on the easier side. But when we talk about rearranging them, that is there any pair, are there any sentences which can be a little confusing? So might you may get confused between 1 or 2 sentences and their specific position, that whether should I opt for 4th or 5th, or whether should I opt for 5th and 4th. So language, easy. Yeah, but the kind of language given to you, the facts presents to you, that is a little trickier one. So understanding of context easy hone wala hai, but unko rearrange karne mein it can be little trickier, not much. So that's why we rated this from easier to moderate. Next question. This is the easiest one. Okay, language is absolutely easy. Coming up with the context and deciding the logical sequence of there gonna be easier for you too. So whenever opting for it, anyway, you can go for this one. This kind of question, do not switch to the another question unless you get this one. Okay. So proceeding to next, चलो इस पे एक बार solve करके देखते हैं. It makes no sense to dismiss US concern on these, however misplaced in high tension. Okay, so this cannot be my first sentence. These से मैं किसको address कर रही हूँ? This is pure moonshine. Again, this cannot be my first sentence. India can prove with facts and figures that the country is both economical with compulsory licensing and sagacious in its patent law. Okay, nothing that I cannot come up with first sentence, but let's keep this like an option. Okay, as my first sentence. Powerful pharma lobbies are making out a case that India is running riot over intellectual property rights. Okay, this can be first statement too, because this is actually introducing us with this fact that why we are giving this fact, why we are saying that India can prove, why India need to prove, why? Because pharma lobbies are making out a case. Kis pe? India pe. So that's why India can prove. So this actually provides us with an answer. So one thing I know that 4 gonna be before 3. I don't know immediately. It may be immediately or not, but definitely before 3. Okay, now next statement is India's court can be criticized for being slow in doing justice in particular patent dispute. Okay. So first thing, this is more like a continuation of third one, because in third we are talking about the actions of India. Okay, abhi tak we were just talking about that kya we are talking about, why we are making out a case that India is running riots on this or that. So one thing I know that fifth will come after third. Why? Because this is more like continuation of third one. Now all I need to see that where else I am talking about anything in concern to India. If I don't, it means 3 will come immediately after 5 will come immediately after 3. Otherwise there might be any other sentence. Okay, so we have our introductory sentence, because this cannot be our introduction, this cannot be our introduction, this again cannot be our introduction. Why? Because we need to put fourth before it, so cannot. All I need to do is compare fourth and fifth. Now fifth again is the continuation of the third, so again it has to be after third, so obviously fourth gonna be my first sentence. Okay, now I'm left with first and second. All I need to do is I need to decide the location of first and second. Now when I have to say this is pure moonshine, so I need to see that this is addressing to what. Okay, so this can be followed by third, because when I say this is pure moonshine, it means I'm talking about the thing which is there in fourth, that powerful pharma lobbies are making out a case that India is running riot over intellectual property, and this is pure moonshine. And then we say that this is pure moonshine. India can prove with facts and figure that the country is both economical and compulsory licensing and salacious in its patent law. So we are saying that this is moonshine. We can prove it. Okay. Now all I need to do is first one. It makes no sense to dismiss US concern on these, however misplaced in high tertiary. Okay. So all I need to do is first, I know that fourth and second will come together. Okay. I know that third and fifth will come together. Okay, because basically these are connected, and this is the continuation of third sentence. Now, location of first is left between here and here. Okay, so now all I need to see that whether this goes together and this will become a hinder. So these two sentences are talking about ki India pe kya allegations and all that hai. Second, it is more about that India can prove it. So this makes a total sense. First has to be here. because this is again a connector. Because if we are saying this is a pure moonshine, so we need to explain that why we are saying this. So it comes that India can prove. That's why we are saying that this is pure moonshine. So second is again should be followed by third. Third के बाद में तो fifth आएगी. So there is only one place left for first one, that is last. Okay. Now coming to next. Okay, I'm so sorry. My laptop just got hanged. I'm so sorry for it. Okay, coming back. Okay, so Anand is asking that, hello ma'am, this is pure moonshine. What does this sentence mean? Okay, when we say that something is pure moonshine, it means that, that we want to say that something is talking absolutely rubbish. It's entirely stupid or foolish. That's why. So this is why we are saying that what cases they are making out India ke liye, that is absolutely foolish. Why they are foolish? Because India can prove with facts and figures. Understood, Anant? So this is pure moonshine. It means this is pure foolishness, basically. Now, so this is how, this is why this particular question is pretty easy. Why? Because they're connector given after one by one. First connector, it was easily identifiable that fourth gonna be this. Okay, again, one connector is given, fourth, after that there has to be second. Why? Because to what we are saying this kisko address kar raha hai, that what is pure moonshine, which we are saying in fourth. And then we can justify it by saying that India can prove. So this is why this is a pure moonshine. Fifth one is anyway the continuation what we are saying in fifth. So that's why we are left with only one space for one. That is last. Okay. Now, next. Summary is given. Now, all you need to do is, you can see there are 4 lines given to you. All you need to do is read it whenever you are done with one sentence. Okay, like till here, you are done with one sentence. Identify that what key element is given. So, summary won't be more than 5 to 6 lines. So you need not to worry about that. What if we get a really long summary? So what you can do is divide the entire summary in sentences. Okay, one, and there are only 2 sentences, and just see that how many key elements you are getting out of 2 sentences. Keep identifying that in which particular sentence every single element is getting covered. Now, covering of that element can be in shorter form also, कि उन्होंने एक ही sentence को form करते हुए सारे key elements को join कर दिया. Okay, never go by the length of the summary. Sometimes students, opt for that. If we are talking about summary, so summary is supposed to be short and brief. No, you need to focus only on the content of the summary. Which particular sentence is having maximum key elements, that will be your summary. Doesn't matter if that summary option is the lengthiest among the options. So again, summary, this one basically from what I would say that it is easy to moderate. This one is the easiest one among 3 summaries, and this is the moderate one. Reason, it is little lengthy, so maybe a little time consuming. So you may get confused in identifying the key elements. But again, if we talk about from the content point of view, basically again the easier one. Okay, odd one out. Odd one out can be a little trickier because at the same time we need to work on multiple things together. First, we need to identify which one does not fall in the category. Now there can be multiple reasons. Keep one thing in your mind that odd one out will never have a sentence which is absolutely odd one out. That 4 sentences are talking about environment and 1 sentence is talking about Hollywood. That is not going to happen. Okay, topic will be same, terminology will be same, vocabulary pattern will be same. Only there can be multiple reasons. First, that suppose I am talking about impact of carbon footprint on environment, and in one specific topic, in one specific statement is talking about that how we can save the environment. So again, we are talking about environment only. We are talking about that environment is under danger, but 4 we're talking about carbon footprint ka impact, and 1 is talking about saving. Okay, so this is how you need to identify. So whenever you are going for odd one out, keep one thing in your mind, that you gonna face similar kind of questions only. It's not gonna be easier to identify that which one does not fall in the category. Okay, so this is how you can proceed for odd one out. Basically a little time consuming, in fact maybe sometimes more time consuming than paragraph symbols too, because at the same time you have to make sure, cross check karne ke liye you have to make sure that remaining 4 sentences are making a coherent passage. Okay, now again, last one, again go for para symbol. Acha, many a time it happens with you guys that you don't really read the question. Okay, you see the similar pattern, like till here we were doing summary. Now from this question we start with odd one out question. We are seeing that okay, 5 sentences are given, we need to identify. Next again we cross check, okay direction check किया, odd one ही पूछ रहा है, 5 sentences are given to us, identify करना होगा कौन सा odd one out है. When we switch to last, if you pay attention, directions have changed. So make sure that you pay attention on directions equally, because sometimes there is just one single word changes in the direction and the whole scene changes. Okay, so make sure that reading question is important, but reading direction is also equally important, because suddenly यहाँ तक हम लोग odd one out कर रहे थे and last sentence जबकि हम para symbol को already कर चुके, but suddenly we are again having a paragraph symbol question, that too किसके continuation में, of odd one out. So the question gonna look similar, and again ये click नहीं करेगा कि फिर से paragraph symbol आ सकता है, because we have already done that. So make sure that you read the directions too. Okay. Okay, any question, any doubt, you guys can come up with it. Any doubt, any question you guys have? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you really want to score really good for your CAT examination, you really want to prepare good for your verbal examination, make sure you practice well and keep attending this session. That's gonna be useful for you in some or other way. Okay, by the time, keep practicing and take care, guys.